So wintertime is a lean time for predators, and they're out looking for groceries. And if you're not careful, they're going to come to your place looking for chicken dinner. So let me show you what I've done that since I have implemented these two things, I have never lost a chicken to a ground predator. So last time I talked to you about aerial predation on your chickens. This time I'm going to talk to you about ground predation, about predators that would attack from the ground. So what have I done? Well, first of all, I am a big believer in hot wires. This is my chicken coop, hen house, and it has a hot wire. And yes, I can touch it right now because it's on a timer, but it's got a hot wire that goes all the way around the chicken pen. I don't know whether you can see that wire or not. It goes all the way around, about 3 to 4 inches off the ground. I try to keep it tight. When it gets loose, the best way to tighten a wire that gets loose, and they'll step on it and stuff. The best way to tighten a wire after you make sure it's off is just to do that. Put a little twist in it. That'll make it real tight. But I have been using this method and this particular fence charger, and I'll show it to you in just a second, for several years. And so anyway, it has really worked well. There's one other thing I do, but let me just talk to you first about the electric fence. Most people think electric fences are to keep animals to keep your goats in, sheep in, cows in, keep them in a pasture so you can rotate, whatever. In this instance, it's to keep predators out. So I've got it all the way around my chicken coop, and then I've got it across the front door of the coop, across the front door. Now, they can touch it right now. It's not a big deal because, again, I do have a timer on it. It's just a little old cheap timer that I've got right here. It's just a little electric timer. It's not a big deal. One of these timers is for the overhead light for the winter, and the other timer is for the fence charger, the electric fence. And it comes on about 7 o'clock at night and goes off in the morning. It's about 7 o'clock or so. Just, set it like you want to set it for your time zone. This is the transformer for the fence charger. Now I've just got it running through here. Fence charger is on the outside. It's an indoor-outdoor fence charger. The transformer is not. The transformer has to be protected, so that's why it's inside and this is outside. This is the one I really like, is a Patriot. I've got a Patriot P10 and a P20. The P20 is twice as strong as a P10, but the P10 will knock the poodle out of you. I can tell you right now, I mean, it is strong. I don't remember how many joules it is. I'll try to look that up and put it on the screen right now, but it is, it's just a really, really good fence charger. Now, I went ahead and put this in. It's unnecessary. It's just basically a kill switch. If I need to work on it when it's on, I can just kill the switch. But this is the main thing that will keep them out. Once they come up here and they hear chickens in here snoozing at night, and they walk in here and they hit that wire, they think, and I leave my door open all day long. I leave my door open all night long. So they come up here and they think they're gonna get a quick chicken dinner, and as they wanna go over the threshold, they hit that wire and it knocks the pooey out of them, and they decide differently. Once they've been hit once, now they may be stupid enough to come back and get hit twice. You get one of these animals hit once or twice, and they're not coming back. They know that this is not the place to get chicken dinner. I know I have skunks, I know I have raccoons, I know I have possums, and in years and years ago, before I implemented this in this very coop, I didn't secure the very, very top of it, and I had a possum, because this was in a different location, I had a possum climbing over a tree limb and down on here and was getting there. He killed 13 chickens in less than a week. So they, and didn't eat them, just killed them. That's what possums do. You find a chicken with his head bit off, it's a possum probably. So I've got plenty of predators, ground predators that love chickens, but they don't come. Now here's the second thing that I've implemented, I think is important too, and it's called a predator guard. And it's just that little simple thing right there. It's solar powered. I bought this in 2016, so it's been 6 years on the job. And what it does is during the day, it charges up Need to clean that off a little bit. If I clean it off, maybe it won't work. I don't know. And then when the sun goes down, it starts blinking. Now the early ones used to blink just solid, blink, 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 blink. But this one blinks random, just like a predator's eyes would be. It's mimicking the red eyes of a predator. Smaller predators like raccoons and skunks and possums won't come if they see this thing flashing because they think it's maybe a coyote or a wolf. So that's what this is for. It's about 25 bucks. Again, this one's 6 years old. I don't ever have to replace the batteries, but it's done a great job, and I believe I credit this as well as my electric fence with keeping my babies safe. And they have been safe ever since I implemented this. I've showed this in another video, but it's been a long time, and I wanted to cover it again. So these two things, I believe, now if you shut your chickens up at night, I would still do a hot wire because stuff can still get in. If you shut your chickens up, unless they're in Fort Knox, they can still be, it can still be penetrated. So I would still get an electric fence. I'm a huge believer in electric fences, and I'm a huge believer in that brand. So let me put a link to it below and check that out. Again, this is the P10. I've got a P20 that I put around the perimeter of my fence, the outside of my fence, and I'm gonna do another video on that, how to keep predators off your property completely. I'll do another video on that, but for right now, fence charger, you don't really need to shut off. I would put a timer on it. I'll put a link to a timer, a little cheap timer, no big deal, and I'll put a link to these Patriot fence chargers. Buy one that will shock the pee out of whatever it is you're trying to shock. If you buy one and all it does is tickle them a little bit, that's just not gonna work. That's just not gonna be good enough because that's not gonna scare them off. That's not gonna be the deterrent you want it to be. So, fence charger and the old, and I do mean old, 6-year-old predator guard. I've got one on a tree out in my pasture. When I had sheep, I put that out there for coyotes, and I assume it's still there. I hadn't even looked in years, so I guess it's still there, still working, unless the cow ate it or something. But predator guard, I really, really think that's been a big deterrent. And hot wire all the way around your pen. Just do it all the way around the perimeter of your pen. 2, 3 or 4 inches above the ground. Keep it tight so it's not dragging the ground. If it drags the ground, you're gonna hear it snapping. Snap, snap, snap all night long. And I have had that happen, and it scared the chickens a little bit. So keep it up off the ground, and all you need is a ground rod, and I'll show you what I did as far as a ground rod. This is the ground side coming off the fence charger. This is the hot side, and all I did was run the ground wire over to this fence and tie it onto the fence because that fence is grounded by multiple T-posts in the ground. So this is a very good ground. This fence is grounded very good, so it makes a great ground for this electric fence or any electric fence I have found. Just a little tip for about electric fences you may or may not know. All right, get you a predator guard, get you a good fence charger. Man, it doesn't take 5 minutes to put this thing around the pen. It's really easy to do. So get you that, and I think you'll keep your babies safe all winter long. Just 2 little things to do. The predator guard's about 25 bucks. The wire and stuff like that is almost nothing. The fence charger itself, depending on how good of a fence charger you get, can be a little pricey. But you know what? These little girls are getting pricey too. You can't even buy one 20, 25 bucks. And then to have something come out and kill them all, that just breaks your heart. So protect your babies. They're just pecking all over me. Having a big time with my britches. I don't know what they're looking for, but I think they found it. All right, that's it. We're gone.